Hello, I'm Simulated Erk, and we are heading to training school in Germany. We're going to be riding the ICE-T, or the ICET if you prefer. Alright, here we go.
In this training module, you will be taken through the operation of a DB-BR411I CET, Electrical Multiple Unit.
Okay.
ICE stands for Intercity Express. The T in ICET stands for the German word Triebwagen, meaning multiple unit.
Okay.
Set the reverser to forward. This controls the direction of travel. Set the headlights to indicate that this train is operational.
Headlights to normal.
The ICET is equipped with GNT to facilitate a smoother ride and higher speeds. Enable the GNT now.
How do I do that? GNT normal. Check on, whatever that is.
GNT allows trains to tilt, enabling them to drive at up to 30% faster than the signed speed limits.
Okay.
Open the passenger doors to allow boarding.
Open right, close left.
The ICET is the only German high-speed train in service that has tilting technology. This means that it leans into curves, similar to a motorcycle, so that passenger comfort isn't as affected by G-force. Close the doors before departure. The BR411 was built in 2 production runs, one in 2000 and one in 2004. They have been across all of Germany, as well as on services to Vienna, Austria.
Cool.
Move the throttle into the power range to get moving.
Alright, here we go. Reach 100 kilometers an hour. So if you have a look at the outside of the ICE-T, they don't have a power car arrangement. There's no power car for the front carriage. It's a passenger carriage because it's a multiple unit.
With a top speed of 230 kilometers an hour, it is the slowest of all ICE trains currently in service. This, however, is rarely a problem, as it is mainly used on routes with many curves and lower speeds.
Can we borrow it?
Now you've built up some speed, you can return the throttle to the off position to begin coasting. On level grades, you can coast to maintain your speed, reducing energy consumption and stress on the motors. When coasting, always remain vigilant of the gradient, as changes could cause the train to speed up or slow down.
Okay.
Keeping to speed limits is important. If you begin overspeeding, apply a small amount of braking force by moving the train brake into the braking range.
Alright. Let's power up. Oh yeah, that's what we're talking about. That's what we're talking about. Throttle off.
You are approaching the station. Begin applying a small amount of braking force by moving the train brake into the braking range.
And we didn't brake early enough. Missed approach.
Störung.
Alright, I reckon we totally overshot there. Oh, let's go again.
Notbremsung.
Or, what we could also do is put our reverser in to reverse. Yes, we're reversing. Does it want us to go all the way back there?
Nice job. The train has safely come to a stop.
Türen geöffnet.
That's cool.
Good work. That concludes all of the basics of operating this train.
And of course, nothing about operating the safety systems, blah, 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 blah. Alright, so let's go to... Let's go and do it the scenario that I was going to do before, except I had no idea how to set up the train. So, to the trains, Batman. And we're going to do a scenario called Mind the Gap. So, we're off to Germany. Now we don't, when we start a scenario like this,
Wird nie gesperrt. Wird nie
welcome to
gesperrt.
Hanau. When you are ready, you can continue the service to Fulda. Okay. Now, basing on what I learnt in the tutorial just then, we want to lock the doors.
Schließvorgang eingeleitet.
Open recoupler hatch. Oh, that's the panel door that they didn't tell it was a panel door. They necked it on battery. We won't touch. G&T isolating switch normal. Not going to worry about the safety systems. Oh, that's the master key. Alright, apply some power. Now we're moving. Go via location as indicated. So let's have a look outside. There's our train. So we're on a 40 at the moment. Signals on the right because we're in Germany. So we're still on a 40. That signal's not for me. Still on a 40. So you'll often find with these high-speed trains that you'll leave the station very slowly as you pass through points, etc. That's not for me because it's on the wrong side. A little bit of power. Still in a 40, we've got a 60, a 70, a 40 and a 60 coming up, so it's not high speed for this section. No idea what that's telling me. All trains proceed at caution, maybe? A little bit of power. Still on a 40, so there's not a massive rush. Now we're on a 60, then we go on to a 70, then a 40, then a 60, then a 120. For now. on a 70 board, but there is a 40 coming up. Restricted signal. Alright, we're going to 120. On a 60. Okay, we're on a 120 now. Max power. A 120 onto a 200. Clear. Signal's not for us, it's on the wrong side. .200 board coming up. It's a 160 board there. Maybe because of the tilt we can actually go at 200 rather than 160. Time to put the metal down, 10-4. I would have thought that the teeth in ICET would have been for tilting, but what do I know? .64, 165, we can do up to 200. Very narrow platform. Clear. It's taking us a little bit of time to get up to 200, but that's alright. Clear. Power off. You'd want more than one signal's warning if you were approaching a signal at stop at this speed. Points coming up. Then we got a 160 board coming. Hello driver, we've had a call from another ICE train stranded on the tracks. As the closest train, you'll help out crews on the ground as they evacuate passengers onto your train. Stop in 12 kilometres, we're on a 160 board now. Clear. Yellow. Assume the next signal's at stop.
Störung.
Clear. No, that's more of a medium. I reckon in German they'd call them train captains in Germany. So again, we're going to assume that the next signal at stop. So it looks like that's a signal just at the end of the platform. So it was interesting how the scenario said there that we'll be evacuating passengers onto our train. If the train's broken, why don't we just couple up to it and push it forward or bring it back? Alright. Clear. try and get up to some sort of speed again. Clear. Clear. Realistically, of course, we'd be using the driver safety systems instead of just relying on our eyes. Clear. So we've got 6 kilometres to our waypoint, which is where we need to stop to assist the other train, I presume. Clear. There's a 130 broad coming up after the next signal, so we'll shut off. And that'll be our warning for the 130 board. Clear. Don't think that was for me. We're on the 130 now. There'll be a 140. Clear. So I've got 3 kilometres to go, so let's not get too excited. And we know we're going to have to stop. So the timetable's basically out the window at this point. Of course, during this time we're also hoping that the other train's managed to get itself going. Clear. So we're not going to speed up. Is that our train? Is that the train we're helping?
Störung. Störung.
Notbremsung.
Alright. You will have to be precise as you stop to allow ground crews to place a bridge between the 2 trains. Now you tell me. Okay, now I've done that. When you are happy that the doors line up, head over and get ready to open the door. What sort of instruction is that? Actually, we're...
Türen geöffnet.
Hey mate, how you doing? Alright? Okay, we'll close the door. Oops. Go in the door and then close it.
Türen geöffnet.
Alright, so we've got 45 k's to go. We've loaded the passengers.
Schließvorgang eingeleitet.
So we have done our mission, rescued our passengers. All our doors are closed. Why can't we go now?
Störung.
Reverser forward. Brakes off, power on. Okay, we're starting to move. We've got another train behind us that's been caught behind us. So that train must be totally dead. It's like there's no overhead or something. So that's interesting that they've got train-to-train ladders. Because the way I was expecting that scenario to run was that the train had failed and so we were going to attach to it and push it through to somewhere. But it also makes sense that the way that the scenario could have been written, it did say to get people off the, to evacuate people from the train. And I guess that's what we did. Clear. So that's the second German scenario that I've done that we've had to assist a failed train. So I guess that's also why the scenario was called Mind the Gap, because there is a gap between the two trains. Looks like we're going so slow, but we're going almost 160.
Druck der Einflüsse.
I don't know what. Oh, I just acknowledged the PZB, even though I don't have it active. Is that page down?
Druck der Einflüsse.
And of course, I don't know any German, so apart from Guten Tag, Guten Morgen, clear. Now I don't know if they would have been doing that at every carriage or just every, or just the front one that we were doing. Clear. Max power. Well, there's a 140 board coming up, so we'll shut off, put some brake on. Probably not too much brake, it's only a short 140. And then it turns into a 150. Oh, that's a wicked tilt. Alright, back into a 150. Station, still 32 kilometres away from our destination. Power off. Clear. 160 board coming up. Oh man, that tilt. That's epic. 160 board coming up. Clear. There's another 140 board coming up after the next signal, after that signal. After that signal. That'll be the warning for the 140. There's a 120 coming up and we are going uphill. Clear. Losing power. We're on a 120. Coming into a 130. We're still 27 kilometres away. Clear. There's a 160 board coming up shortly. We're on 160. uphill as well. There's a brief 140, then there's a 160. Some of that speed will wash off by itself because we are going uphill. And that's exactly what's happening. So I'm presuming that after this tunnel is a 140 board, briefly before it goes back to 160. Board. Oh, we're on a single line. Back up to 160, max power. Brief couple of 150s up here, so we'll just get to 150. There's another track again. Uphill a bit, so that speed will wash off for the 150 board that's coming up. It's the 150 board. It's a brief 140 board just after this signal. Brake, which we've done. 140. 150. Up to 160. 15 kilometres away from our destination. Kilometers away now. love mute buttons. I don't know why I lost speed there. Caution. Clear. Another caution might not have been for me. It was elevated over the track, so I wasn't sure if it was for me or not. That's definitely not for me. That's for me, clear. So we're 9 kilometres away now. So I'm expecting a speed reduction at some point, but it's not on my HUD yet. We'll just shut off because we had only 160. And we are going slightly downhill, so I'll just put some brake on just to steady it up a little bit. There we go. So we've got a 130 coming up, followed by a 200. Clear. So we're a couple of signals away from the 130. Now, of course, as I always say, but repeat for new viewers, I don't have the benefit of the HUD in real life, the heads-up display, but I would have the benefit in real life, of course, of road knowledge. So we'll start to slow it down. We do have a 130 coming up. Just after the next signal. We are 5 kilometres away from our destination. Board should be coming up. Clear. We've got a 200 coming up, but I'm not going to get too excited about that considering we're only 4.1 kilometres away. That will be a 140 after the next signal anyway. There's our warning for the 140, which we're going well under, so yeah, we can power up a bit, and we are going uphill. Sometimes the speed limit is a speed limit, not a target. Sometimes you can't actually reach the speed limit. So we have a 100 board coming up just after the next signal. So next signal we'll brake for the 100 board, and then after that we should have the platform. There's a warning for the 100 board. So we're going uphill, so that will wipe off the remaining 10 Ks. So we hit the 100 board nicely. Might just have to wipe off a smidgen as we approach it. Just a couple of notches just to wipe off the last little bit, just there. Caution. Coming into the station. Coming in nicely. Sure to have a nice long platform to work with. Coming in nicely. Not coming in like a boarding gate. Beautiful. Unlock the doors. There we are. Thanks for your help today. Let's see how you did. Sure, very welcome. Gold medal performance, 47 minutes to drive 80 kilometers. So overall, we did pretty well at a stop accuracy at the end of 1.34 meters. So very happy with how that scenario went. It wasn't what I was expecting, but it's all good. I've been Simulated Erk. You've been wonderful. Thank you very much for watching. Ta-ta and farewell.